first of all, let me just say thank you. That was a fantastic presentation. Um, People loved it, and I think that's, yeah, there was a tremendous amount of value in it, and got such a great reaction. How did you enjoy the presentation today?
I loved it. I'm like still, woo! It's party time inside of me. But what I really loved is the fact that we had two different jobs in the live teaching. That is really what's really cool, because we had one who was the singing coach and the other who was a singer, so we could actually use all the different things we talked about from the two angles. So that was really nice. So good choice.
Yeah, that was really cool. And we got a lot of really great questions. So I am right at the moment just copying them down for the chat. So what do you think was the most meaningful part of the experience today? I mean,
From my side or from what
well,
do you
it's
mean?
just generally with the feedback, and did you get a vibe for what people seem to be needing or wanting, or what they're struggling with? What's
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we all have the same thing, which is, and that's why I wanted to take people outside of themselves, right? Because I think the main problem we all have is we're afraid. We're afraid of being who we want to be. We're afraid of daring. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of not being liked, and all of this has to go away. And I think using the four marketing principles that I put up, which is really basic marketing, but it just works. It helps people look at themselves, but from outside, so they don't sit in their fears. They don't sit in all the things they're afraid of, because they kind of make a plan out of who they are. And I think that's really important. And I could just see that people were like, some people, I saw a few comments, some people were like relieved because they just realized that they were allowed to be themselves, and that was their product. So yeah, I love working like this, and yeah. So I think we all together are helping each other. I have a lot of you on my singer accounts already, and I'm liking all of them. So it's fantastic. We can just make a big team.
I think that's so fantastic. Simply because I don't know, it seems like I run into that again and again, and perhaps more in the beginning of my career and what I was doing, just that having this feeling of being threatened, or I'm going to miss out if somebody else succeeds, right? But it's not like that, right? The more we actually mutually support each other, the more success comes. Would you agree?
Yes, I mean you have this saying: if you can't beat them, join them. And I think I don't like the fact of beating them, but I like the fact of joining. And every time I have been confronted with something that scares me, I go to the person. I mean, it has happened in my life, like it's in all of their lives and all of your lives, is that fact of being jealous. You have that fantastic singer. Just 2 minutes before you going on stage, there's another singer going on stage, and she has that voice that you want. She has that sound. She has the charisma. The public reacts the way you want them to react, and you just have this bite inside of you. Go like, "Ew." You're like, oh, ay, 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 why is she better than me? And yeah, 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 yeah. That's the first thing that comes up. No matter what we say, it does come up.
Yeah.
So what I have taught myself is, since I was very young, is I block it, and I stand up and I go and tell that girl that she's fantastic. So this is the hardest thing to do, to go to the person you're jealous of and go like, wow. So I do that because my emotions, they just stop when I do that. So I walk to her, I wait for her to go down the stage, and I go, wow, man, you're fantastic. I love when you do that little run on this, and the effect, the little creaking in your voice, and I feel 1 million times better. And she actually looks at me and she goes like, "Oh, Dita, I love your songs," and blah blah blah. And you're like, "Oh, she likes me. Woo!" you know. So it's about turning things around. So that little feeling of jealousy, if you can turn that around and make it constructive, then once you get home, sit down and say like, "What is it I like in her that I don't have?" And then work on it. Because I can tell you, when I saw that girl, I loved her runs. I don't do runs, do a little bit of runs, but I do. But I'm like, I can't. Well, I can't because I don't work on it, right? So it's just about checking the things you want and do it. But that feeling, it does come. We all have it, like, so change it. It's a good feeling because it makes you aware of what you have not worked on. It makes you aware of what you haven't done.
Yeah, I think, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
true, true. I mean, I remember, like I always say, I look back. I've always been really passionate about what I did and believed in. I was never arrogant, egotistical, or thought I knew it all. I was always very passionate about it. But a lot of people misinterpreted that, and it was because of some of the things that I said and did, just how I responded. And I didn't ever mean it in a negative way, but I had to learn it was coming across in a negative way, and I also had to learn to change my mindset. So when I was starting, I was young, and I worked really hard, and I was very competitive skill-wise. I was very competitive. But I would be in a show with, friends, and there's so many funny things. I don't know. I think people like just to hear that we're human. But let me tell you some funny stories. So first of all, I was a lot of people don't know this, but I'm an international Latin American dance champion, and that's like another lifetime ago. But I was competing, and we were in this competition, and we were with this same group, okay, as you are most of the time, because when you're in the final round, there's 6 couples, and everybody knows each other. And we were talking and getting some feedback from an expert, and I was there with the whole group, in front of the whole group, going, I just don't understand. How could the judges not mark us first place? And that's just so, people listening must have just thought, what an ass, right? But I wasn't, it was really not about that. I just wanted to know what I could improve. But the way I said
Yes,
it
of course. It just came out wrong.
came across so wrong. And,
Yeah.
and I thought about it later. I'm like, they must have thought I was the biggest jerk, yeah, but so I had to learn to filter myself a little bit, and also I had to learn to change my mindset that it's not, it's not always about you. You need to think, okay, you need to do some of that on your own. Of course, you need to have these conversations in private, not in front of your right. But also, I was in a show, and could dance much better than this other guy. I could sing better than this other guy. I could act better than this other guy. I could do all these things better. But he was the first cast person. And I remember in rehearsals, I mean, it took him forever to learn the choreography. I was like done and turning around and doing all this stuff so fast, and was getting a little bit annoyed. I'm like, well, if he can't cut it, why aren't you putting me first cast? And I didn't say that, but I'm sure the
You had that feeling.
energy and the feeling was there. But he was also my good friend, and I had nothing against him. He was great. But it was just obvious to me there's this difference. But I didn't consider the whole constellation. First of all, just having that energy is only going to hurt yourself, right? I should have been more generous and just said, hey man, let's work on this, we can work on this together.
Can I help you? Yeah.
How can, don't worry about it, you're great at what you do. And the thing was, the things that he had that I didn't have, I couldn't realize because I never even considered them before. He just has, and to this day, if he goes into, he just has a natural talent to connect with people,
Oh.
like
And maybe
immediately.
another charisma.
Yeah, a natural charisma. He's a good-looking guy, but also just, I don't know. He's just got something. He goes into a group, people, girls are automatically like, I mean, I don't exist anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, hey, we're gonna go out with my buddy Philippe, and there's like seven girls, and they're all around him. They're not even paying attention to me, right?
Yeah.
And it was, but I noticed whenever he'd go to auditions, he had the same kind of effect with people. Something about him, and he just had this natural talent to be, I think, really what it is, and what you talked about today. He was very completely himself
Absolutely.
and knew who he was and was very, very connected to that and what message and what energy he wanted to communicate. And because of that, it stands out.
And you were
It's,
stuck in being perfect.
I was stuck in being highly skilled,
Yeah.
and thinking that was going to go somewhere, and didn't realize that. And but some people have a natural talent to, even they might not even know they're doing that, but it really stands out, especially if it comes down to a few people. And the other thing I didn't realize was it's much harder to find somebody like me that can actually play three different parts than it is to find one person to play one part that's actually just great for that part. But finding somebody with the skill set to play three leading parts in a show is much more difficult. So I was shortchanging myself. I wasn't realizing, what was unique about me and why I was getting hired. I was getting hired to fill the needs of a production because I could,
Yes. You could do it all.
right? And I was just stuck on being that one person without realizing I was already that one person.
Yeah, you were much more, but you couldn't see your marketing.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Danish, so we have a glass of wine at this hour, and here it's late. Huh? I'm just justifying. Wait, here it's evening. We're 9 o'clock in the evening, 9 p.m. Skål.
Skull. Okay, I'm gonna try and get my screen share at the
But I
right.
can also give you just now while you're doing that. I had the same experience just yesterday because I coach a lot of different singers, and I have three of my young singers that I worked with since they were 11. That I have been pushing because they are so unique, and I got them all into well, they got themselves into. I just helped them a lot to get them into The Voice, the TV show,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all in. And yesterday, don't tell anyone, we did the blind, and they all got through. So I spent yesterday night having a parent meeting with the parents online in order to tell them that now they're in. Now they're in. They've been taken out of 3,000 people. Now they're chosen out of 90 people. Now they're in the 12th. And now what's gonna make the difference, because they have three talents. One sings like Adele, one sings like Michael Bublé, Michael Bublé, and one sings like I don't know, Shawn Mendes. So we have three different personalities, three different characters, and three fantastic professional voices. They've worked with me since they were young. They because when I work with singers, I have them do my TV show, the show before me, so like a warm up show. So they're used to stage, and so what I told them now is their difference that's gonna happen now is how the production is gonna like them, not on the stage. So the way they're gonna be team players, the way they're gonna talk to each other, if they sit down and go, I don't like the other singers, then it's sure that even if they're better, they're gonna go because we have to work on that likability. So that's exactly what you say. The more open minded and the more playful they are on top of their talents, the more they're gonna be liked, and the more they're gonna be liked, the more people are gonna notice them. So
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like what you said about being a team player, it's so important. I mean, if you're playing, if it's music, it's pretty much everything. There are very few people that are amazing stars and extremely difficult to work with that that have work.
yeah, absolutely.
Because what's valued more over these rare moments of brilliance is consistency.
Mhm.
And are you easy to work with? The facts are that there are just a tremendous amount of talented people, like a scary amount of talented people, to the point where you're like, this person is so talented, why aren't they everywhere in the world? And then part of it's marketing, and the other part is just Are they consistent? Are they
Yeah.
easy to work with? Who are
Yeah.
they? Who
Are
are
they
they?
kind? Are they nice? Yeah.
You know, so that's really important for working in the industry, and I think that's super that you shared that with us, because
But
yeah,
it's also
it's
it's also about, sorry?
go ahead, go ahead.
I said it's also one thing people can look at is film themselves when they are shy, or film themselves when they're scared, because most people are not aware how they react. So when I'm shy and when I'm scared, I become very funny. I hide myself by I will talk to everyone. I will be the crazy girl, but that's because I'm dying inside and I'm so scared that I hide it. But I have worked with some singers that they got taken through some competitions and production companies, but every time they're shy, they go like this,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'm just like, "Are you aware that you look really mad now?" And she's like, "Oh no, it's because I'm so worried, I'm so shy." And I'm like, "But if you go on stage with that face, people are not even going to listen to you singing because you look aggressive and pretentious and not nice." And she's like, "Yes, but it's because I'm concentrating and I'm so worried. So we're going to work on how you look when you're concentrating and when you're worried."
yeah,
So I got her to tell me what she feels. And I say, "So what do you feel?" She says, "Oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so happy to be here." I said, "That is not what I see on your face. So we're going to work on what your face is." So I taught her to say what she felt. So she came on that stage and she went and people were looking at, she came with a big smile and like almost falling on stage because that's who she is inside. And she came there and she's like, "Wow, so many people, guys, I'm so scared." And people loved her. Where all the other times she went like, you know? So it's about filming how you look when you're worried or scared, because you gotta work on looking kind all the time, you know?
yeah. And it does take a little bit of practice, you know. I mean, even if we're doing live stream, we're in front of, our webcams or whatever. But it took me a little while to feel comfortable about it. Now I feel very very comfortable. But same thing with camera, same thing with stage, same thing with concerts. And me too. I mean, I've had a lot of people when I'm like concentrated, I'm like, I guess I look like a jaguar about to jump on their prey, and people are like, "Are you okay?"
No, you actually, because I know you, so just today before starting, you look mad when you're concentrated. You look cold. You
Yeah,
look like, and I'm just like, "Hi, I'm from the other side of the world. Can you see me? Hello." And you're like, "Yeah, hi, Dida." Click, 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 click. Give me a smile. And you did. I got my smile.
yeah, exactly. I know that's just a little bit about me, but so it's important to know. It's important to know yourself, right? Also, who you are, and communicate with people because they might not know you. You know, you've seen me in a lot of different scenarios, so it's like Philippe looks like upset today. I wonder if he's okay.
Yeah. And I'm that boring and annoying person because I actually care about every person around me, and it's can be so annoying for people. I'm sure I have bothered you in Denmark when we were there, because when you look like that, I will go, I'm like, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "Yes, of course I'm okay. I'm thinking." But it can really be bothering, and it's just because I would love to carry everyone on my shoulder and make everyone happy. And I know people sometimes would just like not to be happy or just to be concentrated or just to be, but when they don't smile to me, I'm like, "Are you okay?" And I know it can be so annoying, but I'm working on it.
Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness there are, all types in the world, and we can all
Yeah.
continue to help each other out. We've got some fun questions. We've got 9 questions to answer. So
Woo!
let's start off with number one. And here we go. Number one is: do you believe in setting a reality check for aspiring singers, performers who are not talented? I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Not discourage them from singing or performing, but letting them know that they should not expect to take the world by storm.
Oh, ooh la la, ooh la la. This is, yeah. I'm trying to smile, but I'm getting mad because believe that it is really wrong, because I believe that the person who wrote this, it's not a critique, it's just the person who wrote it. I don't think that you can be the judge of if that person is good, because then you will have to be Chinese and Russian and have all the cultures in the world, and like all the colors in the world. So, but I know what you mean. So I'm just telling you the way it's put. No, it's wrong. But I have been there too, and sometimes you just want to go like. I can turn the question a bit around, because I have had some singers I worked with who went again to competitions, and without telling me they went, and they went to that competition, and the mom sent me the little video of the show, and the question the coaches are asking is like, have you taken singing lessons? And very proudly she's like, yes, with Dida Robbert. And her mom is like, do you know she's a very famous singer, and do you know, and I am just dying behind my telephone. I'm like, she's telling my name. She went to a casting I didn't tell her to go to. She went singing there the song that I didn't want her to sing, and she's talking about my name. I mean, this is really bad publicity. So I understand where you come from. But I think that everyone has a chance. The only thing we cannot change is people's taste. You know, you can be a super, super educated graphic designer, but have a bad taste, and never get very far because your taste is not that cool. But I have also seen singers that were in my world not fantastic. In my world, they cannot go and be a Billboard singer, but I can tell you that they found a market in their town, and she has more gigs than me because she's playing for retired people. She's singing older songs. So what I did with that talent is I didn't tell him not to dream, because that's unfair. Nobody can tell someone not to dream. But I told him that it's very tough. I would sit down with a singer like the one you have. I would sit down and say, okay, let's look at what you have already. Let's look at what works. So tell the person what works. Tell the person that, wow, your voice for the moment works fantastic on kindergarten songs. I don't know the talent. So on kindergarten songs. So if they work fantastic on kindergarten songs, try to help them maybe find a job opportunity there. Try to help them find a market there. Say, why don't you make songs for kindergartens? Or why don't you go with a little guitarist and play in kindergartens? There is a market. This person could be a star in a little niche that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Of course, the kindergarten singer will not become a Billboard singer, but that person knows it himself. That person knows, you know. And if they don't, then just tell them about their potential somewhere else. But no, I believe that it's not our job to to take dreams away from people.
Well,
And I also believe that it's not our job to tell people what they cannot do. It's not our job to say that is wrong, that is wrong, that is our job to say this works, this works, this works, this works. And automatically, when there's more and more this works, all the other things they will correct themselves.
yeah.
That's just
No, I agree. I agree. And when the way the question's phrased, I think for me, for you, it was like, aha, and it just made me laugh. You heard me
yes, we have been there before.
so direct, you know, and I know the person that wrote this question, she is extremely intelligent and has done an amazing amount of things. So I think when you say reality check, you are, by doing these things, giving this singer a reality check without saying you have no chance, you know, give it up, honey. The facts are, I've had extremely talented clients go nowhere. We don't know what they're going to do, you know. They just quit, they changed their mind, they didn't want to do it, or they didn't like the business. I've had clients that I thought, oh my gosh, this is never going to go anywhere. And I've had them be on time, be regular, be consistent, make progress, and guess what? They're happy. They're not worried about being the next Celine Dion. They're worried about singing what they want to sing, and then also they're very clear. I'm very clear with my clients because I have this discussion all the time. I educate them about how the business works and tell them to think about how they're not just, what they want to sing, but what kind of lifestyle they want. What's important to them. Is stability and consistency important? Then you might not want to be an artist. Or if you still want to be an artist and you need stability and consistency, you need to build that into your path.
Yeah. And
You know,
get a weekend singer. Yeah.
yeah, and talk about the realities, and also open their minds to so many possibilities. For example, one really important question, had this conversation just the other day. What does success mean to you? Do you need to sing and these stages for this many people? Does that mean success? Or does success mean singing what you want to sing, where you want to sing it, and as often as you like, and just having a little following, in maybe a state or a region, and just singing regularly and sharing with people. What is it that the individual wants? Do they just want to be heard? Do they just love music and want to express themselves? And then help them realize there's so many levels of that. You don't have to win the voice to be a successful singer. And because
I mean, success is just as discussed. I mean, for me, we have three words in the music business that really can be discussed because people think they're facts. One is success. I mean, I have some people, a success for them would be just to go to a karaoke and be proud of what they're doing.
yes,
Some people, it would be just to feel free and not hiding in the bathroom when they do the dishes and sing right. Some people, it's releasing their records. Some people, it's winning the voice. Success is proper to everyone. It's just like happy. You cannot choose what that means. It means different thing. So success is a weird word because we cannot. In French, you say c'est pas palpable. You can't fix it because it's all over. The second word is, me, is the word talent, because talent is absolutely not a word. Talent is not a destination. Talent is not something you're born with. Talent is, for me, what you do with what you have. So maybe what you think is talent, you can say someone is talented. It does not mean anything. It means that you like what the person is doing
with what
with what
you
he
have.
has.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's important because there was the word talent. I don't have the question in front of me. There was that word talent too. But of course, I'd like to add, of course, and we've all been there, and we've all been there with singers who dream so big and who work so little. But I would definitely say to them, work more. If you want the dreams, work for it. And I agree, it's not because you could sit and look at me now and say, but do I have to lie to people? No. But don't block their dreams. Just turn it around and just say, for the moment, I can see you doing this and that. What is your dream? Check out what they want. Let them do their reality check.
Yeah.
Because maybe what we think as coaches, what they want, maybe their reality check is much different. Maybe they just want a little more.
Yeah.
So and the last one is singing false. That is also a word that's just an invention, because when we coaches say that word false, or we talk together, I have someone, you know we talk about one only thing. We talk about singing off pitch. But here in Europe, the word singing false is like a fashion. It can mean I don't like it. It can mean I hate my voice. It can mean, oh, she's not singing exactly the same way as the singer. It can mean she changed the pitch. It can mean she's improvising. It can mean, I mean, it just means that the person who dares to say that word doesn't like what she's hearing.
Yeah.
So,
Good. I'm going to jump on and then we'll move on to the next question because I've got the feeling we can do this for hours. No, no, no. It's great. I love it. I was just talking to a client just the other day. She had this singer said, "I love this arrangement. I want this sound." And I'm like, "Yeah, your voice is going to sound great on this sound." And then we went into analyzing the sounds she was making. And then I said, "It sounds like this crossover of, you know, Amy Winehouse, jazz, and gospel. So it's a very unique sound." And then I put on some Amy Winehouse and Valerie, and I pointed out to her, look how awful that sound is that Amy Winehouse is making. And everybody that loves Amy Winehouse is going to be like, no, she's a goddess. Yes, that's my point. if I were trying to get every one of my clients to go, Valerie, Valerie, they would run away. They,
Try to make me go.
they would run away, seriously. So what she did with sounds and how she used them is so unique, and that's what makes a career.
It
If
works for her songs, yeah.
I'm not teaching, I mean, I'm teaching people how to make those sounds and how to use them in the appropriate context. But honestly, listen to her sing. Just listen to the sounds she makes. It's brilliant what she does, and I love her music. But if you consider, as a vocal coach, teaching all of your clients to make those sounds, they're going to run away. You won't have any clients because it's not a pleasant sound. But when used in the right context, it can be brilliant.
Yeah. You have the same on Duffy or yeah.
We don't know what people are going to do, and I have had so many people tell me I was never going to make it that I just immediately say, well, I don't know what this person's going to do. But so the reality check is actually helping them identify what they want and where they're good at, and also just telling them, if you want, okay, I have to say this. I have to say this, helping them understand their point of where they are in relation to where they want to be. That's also a reality check without being destructive and destroying their dream. But I've had so many people call me up and say, I want to do this and this and this, and people have told me I'm great. Usually it's the people that have the biggest dreams that tell me that they're amazing and they just need to do a little thing that don't show up and stop working. And that's unfortunate. It's always the people who are consistent and work and believe that they can improve their coordination and get where they want to go and understand, I'm at point A, this is point B, and to get there I have to do these things. So those people almost always succeed, but other people don't. So we never know. My message in response to that question is, we simply don't know what this person is going to do during their lifetime. And the reality check isn't saying, you suck, you're never going to make it, I think you should consider something else, because people actually told me that. And I've heard very qualified teachers, professors say the same thing to other people. By doing that, you're killing somebody's dream and you're not nurturing their potential. You don't know where they're going to end up. You might believe they're never going to make it at what they're going for. Well, they might get very close, realize it themselves, and then create something so unique that they're working more than you could have ever imagined. So I totally
Because
agree.
you believe in them, because you believe in them, and because you show them that they're worth something. Maybe you don't know what it is yet, but because you believe in them and tell them all the gold they already have, they might actually go out and do something fantastic once they have found their little keyhole, right?
And then we might not even like what they do, but their audience does,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So the next question, this one you can answer rather quickly. Do you have a classical singing background as a solo artist?
Me personally, no. I don't have a classical, and I can actually really be the horror movie from your all because I don't have any singing education at all. I have been touring and singing for all my life. I have had the voice hurting sometimes after singing. I was a smoker. So when you smoke, vocal cords sleep, so you can keep on singing without noticing all the bad things you're doing to them. And I got a reality a wake up when I decided to become a singing coach. I actually took a first lesson in singing because my mom is a professional singer as well. Well, much bigger than much before me, and my mom had this offered class in London with a very famous star coach, and she said, "You always dreamt of having a singing lesson, Dida. I give you this singing lesson." So I come to London, very happy. I got my dad paid the train, and I'm going to this star. And I come in, and he's sitting behind the piano. He's like, "Hi, do you have a casting?" And I'm like, "No. Are you used to singing?" "Yeah, that's that's how I live." "Okay. Um, so you don't have any casting?" I'm like, "No. I just want my first singing lesson ever. I'm looking forward to this. Woo!" And he goes like, "What are you singing?" I'm like, Well, take a song from a musical. Okay, so I took Miserable on my own. And I sang, he started playing, really not nice, huh? Bling, 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 bling. Uh-huh. You never had singing lessons. I'm like, no, do it again. Blang, 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 blang. Okay, well, all I can say to you is um, don't change. You found it already. When you don't sing jazz, loosen your jaw. Thank you, bye. And I came out of there crying my head off. I was like, "Wah!" And my mom was like, "What's wrong? What did he say?" He said he couldn't help me. He said I should just loosen my jaw, and he didn't want to teach me anything. And she's like, "Are you aware that this famous guy who helps people through castings just told you not to change anything?" No, he didn't change me. I was like, I just thought he would do something, I thought singing technique was woo, but I already found it myself. I found it until what I needed, right?
Right.
But then when I started looking for a pension plan because I wanted to do something like when I'm 70 and you guys don't want to see me sing anymore. So I found the Complete Vocal Institute and I went there just for a 1 week course, which is what Philip and I do now around the world. And I heard about singing technique and they taught me, and I was just like, if I had known that, I would be a Retta Franklin. I could have been because I didn't know all these things you could do with your voice. I didn't know that I didn't have a voice limit. I didn't know that I could sing all the pitch I wanted. I didn't know that what I was doing was really good. I didn't know. So I asked to become a vocal coach, and I got accepted and took and then I was gonna teach when I was 70, but it's been such a passion, so now I do it all the time. So yes, I don't have any background. I sing classical as well, and I not within the laws of the job, but I sing it in the way I want it to sound. But I teach classical because that is in our education also how to teach classical singers. So I'm not talking.
I think the it was great, very informational, very thanks for sharing all of that. Something that came to mind was, okay, which a lot of singers come up against. So you got this very famous vocal coach. You had an expectation when you went in there. You wanted to learn. You just wanted to learn. You were excited to learn, and that
Just one trick.
expectation was not met. So, that's how a lot of teaching out there is. And for me, that's incredibly ineffective because when we have a client coming to us, and this is my philosophy, if I have a client coming to me, it's my job to find out what their goals and expectations are and satisfy those. Help them move along, learn something. That's really the job of the pedagogue. And he may I'm sure you were doing, like you said, within what you needed to do, you were doing it right. So yeah, why fix something that's not broken, right? But you wanted to learn more. Maybe he could have spent the session with you. Have you ever observed how you breathe and how do you do this when you're doing
Yeah.
that? Could have been like bing, 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 and so much fun. And I had a young singer yesterday because the kids are dealing with corona as well, and they're having a hard time. Young kids are having a hard time. She was exposed to somebody that had corona. Now she can't go to school. I mean, literally the first 20 minutes of the session were her just, she was just depressed and needed to talk.
And you helped.
Like, oh, maybe I should talk to her parents about this. I'm not a therapist, but I just let her talk. And I said, you know what? Let's sing. We don't have to work on anything, forget goals, whatever. Let's just sing a couple songs that I know and that you do so well, and I bet you'll feel better. And she sang, and she started feeling better about life and her day. And then we worked on a couple little technical things on those to make it more efficient. And she left at the end of the session with a huge smile.
That's our job.
Right? And it's not my job to be a therapist, right? But I'm using music to help her feel better about herself because I know she sings, and when she sings, she's happy, and that's why she loves it. Singing is therapeutic. So yeah, I could have just said, all right, well, call me back next week when you're not depressed. Can't do anything today.
Yeah, but I think one golden rule I learned in my education to become a vocal coach. I very often said in my classes, I said, but I don't know if they're happy or I don't know what they want. And my teacher looked at me and she said, ask. And I was just like, why don't I ask? Why don't we ask? Why is it we think that we have to? So now I do what you say. I say, hi, my name is Dida Robbert. What do you expect? What would you like? This is what I can do. I go through the whole singing technique in 5 minutes. I go, I can give you this. What do you want?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I want that and that. And okay, let's go. So
It's important to guide them, and I think that's wonderful. The wonderful thing about this next generation of teachers that's being trained is the training of teachers has gotten so much better. But we'll get off on more tangents, so let's go into the next question.
aha.
Um, what if you don't have a stellar past like Dida and Philippe? How do you market yourself as knowing what you're doing with with other people, or yeah, basically saying, what if you haven't done a lot of things professionally on stage all around the world? How do you market yourself as being credible, as knowing
Oh,
what you're doing?
yeah, well, I don't have a stellar past. I have a hard past, and I have a past where the only thing I could do was open my mouth and sing. And I just had to do the best I could with it. I'm a young mom, so I had my son when I was 20. So wanting to be a super singer, being a single mom, that is very crazy too. So it's about fighting for what you want. I mean, in the beginning, you don't even have to think about marketing. You have to think about doing what you want to do. So I think, and that's the same we talked about before. If you need to sing, then you are already a singer before you open your mouth. Because from in here, we have things we want to express. I mean, there's there's like, if we count on our fingers, I'm sure we can count. If we put our 10 hands, 10 fingers together, we have 20. I'm sure that's the amount of happy songs that exist in the world. All the other songs is about struggle, maybe with success. How did I do it? It's about being unhappy. It's about how we got through things. And for me, I don't even need to sing words. I just need to sing and I heal myself. So I don't ask how people, if they like what I do. I just do it because I have to sing. I need to share. I need to get it out. I need to make people happy because when they're happy, I am. And that's the only moment. I don't like I don't like going down from the stage. I love being on stage. The only moment when I get scared is when I have to leave the stage, because then I go down through to the dangerous people. People
Yeah.
has not been kind with me, and that's probably why I'm doing this work, because I want you guys to be stronger and not having to go through all of this. So yes, I think that the only thing you should do is not market yourself, is sing. So I think that would be the first lesson for you. If you don't have a lot of experience, if you don't have a lot of things, start by singing. Start by going. Now that we cannot sing in the real world, I cannot say go to the bar, go to the restaurant, go there, go there, go there, go get the experience. I didn't work my voice, as I told you before in the question before, because I have not learned how to. I just had to sing. So I just went everywhere and said, hi, do you want me to make your party a success? Hi, do you want me to sing in your bar? Hi, do you want? And then when you do it with your heart, all of a sudden you don't go anymore because people start calling you. And that's the moment where your marketing works. When people come to you, you don't even have to go. But today, as you cannot move and you cannot go out and get that experience, I would definitely take this corona moment to making videos of yourself. Sing in front of the audience and let them choose you. Do some live streams. Do some contact songwriters. You have songwriters all over the world. They're on internet. If you have the internet connection, find them there. Sing. I mean, You don't have to market yourself before you know what you want to market, but start by gaining that experience. I hope that's the answer, if I'm
Yeah,
answering the question.
I think it's a good suggestion. I mean, a person's obviously looking. So this is. Let me just be really, really real about this. Um, it's a lot of it's perception, and I want you to think about that. What Dita is doing is what she's worked into. What I'm doing is something I'm continuing to work on. So people will look at us just like I was in your same position and say, how do I market myself when this teacher has coached 30 world class singers that everybody knows? How can I hope to compete? Well, there's two things you need to remember. First of all, that coach can never coach everybody in the world. They don't have the time, and they charge too much, right? So, and second of all, that coach was not where they are for the last 30 years. They had to start somewhere as well. So work on what, like Dita said, what do you really want to do? You know, what's important to you in coaching? What do you want to communicate? What do you need to learn? What do you want to learn? Keep working on your skills. And also, maybe instead of saying, look, I've done all these things, because you haven't done them yet, do some of them as you go, but maybe also talk to people on a different level. You know, and say, would you like, in your marketing, say, discover how to sing without pain. I mean, that's just one possible thing.
Yes.
How do you sing with a do you know how to sing with an authentic voice? Or what's your true voice? Discover your true voice. Now you're talking about things people want. Improve your range. You know, most singers want the same things, and I'll be quite honestly, the marketing bugs me because of that, because everybody's saying it. But if you're talking to people live, like Dina said, here on the internet, and you talk to people, you're going to find people energetically that are going to like you and like your energy.
Absolutely.
And they
Yeah.
won't want to work with a you over there on my screen with Dita, and they won't want to work with me because they like your energy.
Yeah.
They like you. They feel more comfortable with you.
But is this person a singing coach or a singer? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it
So
can go.
we answered both. If it's a singer, I answered. If it's a coach, but I mean, in all cases, talk to people, sing or teach singing. If you're a singing teacher, then make small videos. And what really works today, if you start by making people afraid, saying, "Oh, so you lose your voice too often, huh? Here's the solution." I mean, videos like that works for someone a bit who can defend it. Other videos like "Do you dream to sing like Beyonce?" That works for some people with another character. So small videos of you singing if you're a singer, of you teaching if you're a teacher, you'll get there in no time.
Just do it. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
Go for it. And just know it's it takes some time. Build it
But
up.
it is a sacrifice because I tilted a little bit on that stellar background or something you had in the question, because it's true. If me and Philip we pull out the pictures of all the stages, or of all the singers we taught, we can really make a huge wall of fame and fantastic. But that doesn't describe what we have been through in our life. That doesn't describe the sacrifices we've done.
Right.
Because being a mom, I have two kids and a husband, and being a mom and singing means that I have not been there on many birthdays. I have always, always prioritized my career because I needed to sing. Now, with time, I have learned to take one day off a week. It's not all, I'm almost there. I have 1 hour on some days, but I'm learning to prioritize differently because my kids are growing and I don't never see them. So it's about also figuring out how much compromise you want to put into or how much of your life you donate. If I'm where I am today, it's because I gave it everything. I I did 5 concerts a day, having 3 different bands, installing the sound system different places and having one guy driving me between the gigs, not because I had to, because at that moment when you have that much gigs, you don't need the money anymore, but I need to sing. Later, I started having people replacing me and giving the opportunities to the singers I work with. But it's all about how much you want this. I never say no when I'm sick. I go sing when I'm sick. I go sing when I'm not, except for Corona, because I cannot sing and I don't want to transmit it to anyone. But for the rest, it depends on how much compromise you're ready to do. If you want it to go fast, you got to put everything in. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be intense, but I guess the underlying message is don't be intimidated by other people's
No,
qualification,
absolutely not.
because it was the same for me as an artist. You know, artists that I admire. Once you get to a certain level, on the way you feel competition pressure, but once you get to a certain level, you realize they can't be everywhere in the world. If they're
Yep.
number one, you know they can't, and that's why there's a huge market.
Yeah.
There's so many people that want to work with you. You just need to continue to express yourself and reach out, and they will find you and you will find them, and then it will continue to grow. But don't be intimidated by anybody's qualifications, because no qualification, no, none of us were born with them. We had to go out and get them.
Yeah.
So just go out and get them yourself, and market what's special about you. The next question we have is,
I'm putting all those.
are there,
Yes.
how many languages do you speak?
I speak 7 languages.
Seven languages.
So
Okay.
I speak fluent 4 languages. So I speak English, French, Danish, and Italian. That's fluent. So I teach in these 4 languages. And then we have Swedish, Norwegian, and Dutch. And my Dutch is mixed with German because my mom married a German man, and I spoke Dutch, and he speaks German. So it is like a one word German, one word in Dutch. So yeah, 7 languages I can talk, and I can also speak a bit Spanish and a bit of Greek, but that's very tiny. And I think Philip, you have as many languages as me, right?
No, no, I don't have as many as you. I'm fluent in 3 languages and speak some Spanish and Italian, but it's bad. I guess I lived in Germany for so long. My German's like my second language, so you know, even my French, which is we've spoken French, is my French pretty good?
Your French is very good.
But I'm embarrassed about my French because I know I'm
Oh
making
no.
so many mistakes
No,
because
your French is very good.
I just got to that level with German where it's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. English and German, you can switch me back and forth. I might still make a mistake, but I still make mistakes in English. But in French, I realize, yeah, I can communicate, but I can't communicate quite as precisely as finely. And
Ah, you're back with your being perfect again. Cut the crap. You are perfect. but that's also, guys, just before we talked about sacrifice. I mean, I lived in 5 different countries, moving around in the world. Philip had to move around in the States, in Germany, in France. So being a singer and being professional also means so big sacrifices that we have to change countries, you know?
yeah. Next question.
Wait, glasses.
What do you think about digital marketing tools like Facebook, ADS, ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and strategies with influencers? Do you think it's important to invest in a marketing team as an artist, or you can do everything yourself? Can you do everything yourself?
Yeah. So I believe in all of it. Of course I do. But I believe we're not a lot of people who have a lot of money to put in that. So, but there is a lot of things you can do yourself. So I would definitely say Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I know I'm saying Pinterest and you guys are going to go like, what? That's really boring. Yes. But all the pictures you put on Pinterest are referenced on your Google page. So if you put in Google my name or Philip's name, I haven't checked Philip, but I think he's just as good as me. But if you put my name, Dida Robbert, in Google, you can see I have like 7 pages of pictures. And that's because my websites are directly referenced in Google and Pinterest is directly. So for pictures,
Pin,
uh, reference, I would definitely reference Pinterest. Um, Google Ads. Do you want to pay? Do you not want to pay? I would definitely work with what we call natural referencing, which means if you have a website, yeah, so you see it just pops up and pops up. Ah, what did you put?
Dida Robbert Pinterest.
Now you have, no, no, just put Dida Robbert with two B's.
Okay, just in the Google
Yeah,
search.
but not in Pinterest, just in Google. I want an A on my name. Now Dida.
Ah, oh, did
I know I did, Robert, but and then images, images. Yeah, yeah. So that's a goal. What all of you guys want is a lot of pictures on Google when you put your name, right? So that is, if you check, you can see Pinterest,
look there.
SoundCloud. Well,
Even
yeah, see, YouTube is very good as well. So what we want, all of us, yeah. I have a boxer and a football player called Dida, so that's why there's a lot of that too. But put use Pinterest, use your website. So there is one golden rule, just a little marketing trick again. Wherever you put your photos, so this is a little bit annoying. Wherever you put your photos, call them your name. So if you really want your Facebook page to work, download your pictures from your phone before you post them, call them your name. So Dida Robbert with Philippe Hall 1, Dida Robbert with Philippe Hall 2, Dida Robbert. So give them that name, because no matter where you put them, the algorithms are gonna pick it up. So on your website, give them your name. On your the only way it doesn't work is on Instagram. Instagram, you doesn't matter if they have a name or not. But on Facebook, Pinterest, all the websites, whatever you do, give them your name before you post it. Also on Reddit, on different things.
so if you look at Philippe Hall, for example, all the Philippes will pop up, but you'll see vocal coach, sing and reveal, voice masters, and then so there's another a few other Philippes that are famous. Look, oh my gosh, this is ages ago. Look, I had some hair. And but then you have here places I've been and people that may have tagged you. Here's some things on our YouTube and voice masters. Then we have a French politician, and then another guy named Philip Hall.
Yeah, so we can do better for you. I can give you, Philip, some tricks, because we need all of your pictures on there, right?
Yeah.
So, so
So
the first trick would be to post on your website all the pictures, give them your name, and double everything you do on Pinterest, because Pinterest keeps it, and Pinterest don't lose the algorithm. Pinterest is really, really good. You can also put the description of what you're doing, Philip Hall, November 2010, da, da, da. So your names, so that's one. The other free trick you can have is the Google reference. So that means behind the scenes, when you make a website or when you do things, put all the keywords you can imagine. So singing, coaching, blonde, Danish, I mean, whatever talks about you that you want to put up front. This makes Google work in the fact that he can go, that's called natural referencing. So it's not Google Ads, because Google Ads would pay for clicks.
yeah, it's
So yeah,
organic traffic,
organic. Yeah.
S-
So
SEO work.
that is something you can spend a lot of time. You have something called Google Trends you can look up. And when you look up Google Trends, then you can see the hottest keywords of the day. So, for example, if people are looking at being a singer on The Voice, then put that in your next post. And that works on Instagram, so you can do the hashtag the hottest name. So that really works. I myself have noticed TikTok is really good. I feel a bit weird, but people love looking at TikTok. So if you want to do TikTok, try to be fun. Try to do a funny way of teaching. Do something else. A lot of people are on that channel. Um, Otherwise, you talk about Google Ads. What did it say more? Ads, and it said something more, Philip, in the question.
Yeah, the Facebook ads, Instagram ads, basically social media ads.
Yeah, Facebook ads. I like that. But I have a very, very hard time pinning down exactly the audience you want, because it's so large. So you can choose your country, but in your country, how far do you want the information to go? You cannot really pin down the language. You can pin down gender. You can pin down if they like cats. You can pin down what they eat. but it's very difficult to really zoom into the audience. So when you make a Facebook ad, you have to be very broad so that you speak to everyone. Because for me, the filters are not good enough yet to be exactly what you want.
Well,
So
I,
yeah,
just on that, so you know, I'm it can be very good and very specific, but it takes time because
yeah,
Facebook has like Google, what's it called? Uh, oh goodness, how embarrassing.
language.
What's their they have a tracking code. It's called something Pixel. There's a
Yeah,
Facebook Pixel and a Google Pixel. So if you haven't heard of that, look that up. But what you need to do is you basically have to run ads to like Dita said, first with keywords and some broader audience, as specific as you can make it. But you have to use that pixel and you have to do it over time because it will actually track Google and Facebook pixels will track over time who your ads are appealing to, and then it will start looking for people that like the same things and like the same things.
yeah.
It
So
will,
it takes a bit of time.
but it's a lot of there's a specific strategy there. So if you want to run ads, I think the steps that I'm using right now is first your warm market. Who do you know? Who are you in contact with now?
Yes,
Can they give you referrals? Expand on that. Then
that's
what
free and
comes
it
in.
makes friends.
It's free. See what comes in, and when you max that out, if you still have time, then you can start spending money on ads. But know that it's a learning. The algorithms. You need to use the algorithms, and they are learning algorithms, and it takes time before your ads will really get good. You can get specific, get some results, but it's a learning curve. So don't expect this is really important in marketing and business.
Yeah, I would definitely, if you have the, sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, don't expect to spend money on an ad, the first ad, and have it give you fantastic results. You have to, if you're going to run ads, you have to really know you're going to be running ads for 3 to 6 months before you get any kind of specific, significant, meaningful results. I've done it in the past, and I've had clients do it. Spend a lot of money on a beautiful ad. Guess what? You just spend a lot of money, and that was pretty much it. So it's a strategy. You got to see it with time. They also talked about. I think that's another question, but do you want to? Is anything else you
Yeah,
want?
I just want to add that one trick that really works for me is what we call is Google My Business. That's for free.
Yeah,
So it's behind Google. They have made a business platform for free where you can Google your business. So they give you a whole place where you can write about your business. You can put up pictures. So every time someone have you singing or comes to your place, they will get a little pop-up saying, "How did you like working with Dida Robbert?" or how did you like working with Philippe Hall? And people can go and give you comments and and this, I mean, I have every month I get a return, and every time it says like 2,000 people looked you up, 100 people came to your place, 1,000 people called you, 50 people bought a lesson, and 75 used Google Maps to get to your house. And that's for free. So when someone uses Google and they drive by on your road, it will pop up if they use Waze or I don't know all the tracking systems you have in the UK. But that's a free publicity, and you can also track your business when you move around. So if you're a singer, people can actually see you sing and go, click, who's the singer? If you're there, then they can see it. So that's a really good tool, and it's free.
yeah. That's a fantastic suggestion. So that I guess we are all learning, and new things are developing all the time. But there are a lot of things you can do before you have to spend money on an ad. Next question is along these lines. Anyone have experience using a marketing agency? What kind of money are we talking about? Um, so
Yeah.
marketing
So
agencies are really great at what they do, but they're also not all equal. Good ones, it they get paid a lot of money because they're really good at what they do. But you have to, just like I said last time, marketing agencies are not go in, pay one time, and walk away and expect results. It's like you've got to commit for 6 months to a year at that level investment to see what you get out of it. So you need to consider, if I max out all my teaching hours, let's just say on the teacher side, if I max out all my teaching hours, how much money is that per month for me? And if does that is that in any kind of relation to what the investment with a marketing agency would would be? I mean, if you're paying $20,000 to a marketing agency and that's all you can make in a year, is it worth it to
Yeah.
invest?
Um, I would not use a marketing agency. I would, if you want to pay, which I think is a good idea, because if we want to use, like Philip said, really good filtered communication, if we want to use Google Ads, if we want to use all these things, I would definitely not do it myself, because it's, I mean, I don't have the time because I'm lucky and I have done so much, so I have a lot of work. But if I wanted to do it, I would definitely call young bloggers. I would get young experts. I would get people that don't do anything else with their life than staying online because they love that. And I will send Philip a link, because at least in Europe, I don't know if it's worldwide, but in Europe we have there's pages with bloggers on. And so what you do with these pages, you go in and you say, I want to promote my business as a singer on Instagram. This is my style. This is what I do, and it will give you a whole list of bloggers that blog and talk about that kind of music. And then you make an offer. You say, I'm ready to give 10 euros or $10 um, for that job done. And then they will come back to you and say, I'm on. And then you have people who are in the business, who have all the audience and who knows everything about it, investing their time in you for like no money. And then you can use more and more money because you want more results, but you are in the people. I mean, today, it's not a secret. It's not me and Philip who's going to sit down and tell you about how everything works behind the newest applications.
No.
They're all the, I mean, we can ask my son. My youngest son, he's 14. He knows more than us. And he's just going to go, oh, yeah, blink, blank, 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 blank. Oh, have you seen this? Get YouTubers to talk about you. Get Instagram people to talk about you. That's what people want. They don't want to see those ads anymore. They don't want them. They want people to talk about you. They want people to give you 5 stars. So much better. And there are people experts in this.
I agree, and yeah, you don't have to. We tend to think we have to pay somebody full time. You can get really good results with a small investment, and just decide how much money you can invest per month, and then use that to start off with by finding people who are already experts at it, and that will bring you a bigger return on your investment. And just consider, if all you have to invest a month is $50, well, that's it. If you have
We
20,
also have, we call in French, we call this troc. That means
trade,
exchange,
yeah,
exchange of service. So I don't know what you would call it in this.
trading.
Trading, yeah. That is something I didn't know much about. But I have two singers who are my personal assistants, and they work 4 hours for me, for against a singing lesson, and that's what they wanted, and they're very happy and they love working with me. So they do my emailings, they organize my database. They help me put stuff on my website. I don't. I only do the personal things myself, like talking to people. That's not them doing it, but all the administrative, doing the VAT for my company, and so all of this I have actually traded, and I felt a bit embarrassed about that in the beginning, because I'm like, they work more hours for me than I give them one singing lesson, but that's what they would get paid if I had taken them on as an assistant or a secretary, and they love it. So don't be worried. Trade with friends, trade with people. They love that.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the best bloggers want a singing lesson with you or want a concert with you, or Try it.
Absolutely. Great advice. The next question we have is, what do you say to someone who thinks they have more threats or weaknesses than strengths? For example, they like to experiment with their voice, but you are afraid to create your own songs because you think they are not good enough, or what strategy do you have for those who have a lack of confidence in themselves?
Huh. I think everyone has a lack of confidence in themselves. And I think the worst thing is writing songs, because when you start writing a song, you have already made a mess in your mind. The word I am sitting down and writing a song, that's the whole problem. You should not sit down and write a song. You should take a paper when you're not happy and just write what you feel. Fill them out. I don't know if I can catch one of my books. They're a bit far away, but right here I have a whole furniture with text from I was a kid, from when my mom was not nice, from when I didn't have something with girlfriends, from the world not understanding me, from why are we alive when nobody believes in each other, why are people egoistic, how is it losing a friend, whatever. I have been writing songs my whole life without knowing it. I have just been sitting down and emptying my pain on paper. So don't write a song. Empty your pain on paper, and decide when you're in a good mood, open that book, look back and say, wow, that's an amazing subject. Let's put it in music. But don't write a song. This is just what we said like three questions before. Don't write a song to please. Write a song because you have to. Write a song because you think it's good. Write a song because you need to say this to people. So when you start saying I write a song, when you start saying I want to please, then you'll never go in and write that song. You have to write the song because you have to, because you feel
Yeah.
it, because it's necessary.
Yeah, we talked about that in the live stream as well. I guess my message would be along those lines. I'm just going to say it really briefly, but stop trying to be perfect. It's okay to be raw. That you don't have to write the perfect song. What you need to do is express your feeling. Express your feeling, and don't worry whether it's perfect or not. If you're expressing what you feel inside with your words and on your melody, it's true. And truth is interesting.
Yeah.
So,
So
um,
write songs.
next question. Any advice if you already started the path thinking of what others or society expects? Start again. I read that, I'm correcting as I go. Start again and erase everything. So basically, I'm already far along down this path, and everything I think about is what do other people are going to think about me? What is society going to think about me? Do I have to start all over again, erase that, and just start from scratch?
No! Never start from scratch. Take and look at what you did and take it as gold and say, I did this. But check with yourself if you believe in it.
Yeah.
Do you believe in it? What is it you want? Are you doing what you really believe in? If you do what you believe in, go for it. If you don't, make a few adjustments. Change the color, but not everything.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Please don't change everything. This is a mistake that, let's just relate it to singing, but it relates to everything. When you go into a voice lesson, and I did this wrong for so many years, so I want to share that with you because it's important to me, to help people, to save you time, money, and frustration. Get you where you want to be faster. When somebody, when I'm working with client, if it's a beginner or a professional, there's a little bit of a difference, obviously. But the reality is, between your top level best technician singers in the world and your second level singers who are also excellent, there's about a 0.3 to 0.1% difference. It's tiny, tiny. Then you go, just like think of the fastest people in the world. They don't win by like 5 seconds, they win by tenths of seconds. Take it one step down. Now, the difference between those top echelon 2% singers um, is very small. It's just maybe 3%. And then the difference between those amazing singers and you're somebody off the street is probably only about 15 to 10%. That sounds wrong, but believe me, it's right, because there aren't a lot of big adjustments you need to make. You need to make a lot of very small adjustments. In your singing technique, people will say, we do this happens all the time. Okay, let's see, can you raise your soft palate a little bit? And then it's like this. Well, then they're just like max to the max, or use a little bit of and the next time I see them, they're singing everything and I'm like, okay, I understand the thought process. It's because you found a tool that worked and then you went crazy with it. I'm trying to help people understand you don't need to go that far. It's just a small adjustment, and that's enough. That's enough. And if you need a little bit more adjustment, you'll get a little bit of feedback.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make huge changes. Make small changes.
Yeah.
Lots of small changes
And believe in them.
where you want to be. Yeah. Believe in it.
I must be miracles if you will.
Well, I think it's important. You obviously noticed that Dida and I are really passionate about this. Next question. Sorry, that should be just an I. I feel like I am stuck in my life and not sure which direction to go. I don't remember
Wow.
who wrote this, but let me tell you, you're not alone. I think it's something that, at least me personally, I've felt that many, many times. Okay? Many times. The solution, again, is not a big change, is to take a step in any direction and then take another step and take another step. You will find where you want to go, but you will only find where you want to go if you take a step and then another step and another step. If you don't take any steps, you stay stuck. What
I
would
think the first step this person did is saying it. And you just did. You
Yes.
told us that is the first step. So for me, you're already further now because you asked for help, right? And I'm quite touched by what you're saying because I can hear you. You need help there too. And if you're a singer, I don't know if you're a singer, but if you're a singer, then close your eyes, turn off all the lights, and sit down, put on a candle, and sing to yourself. Sing because you need to. That's already a beginning. Go accept the feelings, go inside, sing it out, feel better. Once you feel better, go and watch this conference again and take it step by step. And I'm sure you're just going to be so much fine. And if you're not, then ask for help
Yeah.
because it's deep feelings, huh?
There's deeper levels to this as well, and I just want to reaffirm, I believe that I would really say everybody on the planet feels this way at least
Especially now.
at least once in their life, if not regularly in their life. And it's part, we talk about this in lots of other disciplines. In sports, for example, in weight training or other kinds of sports, they talk about hitting a plateau. Hitting a plateau means they feel stuck. They hit this spot in their development where it's not going anywhere. And we're talking about professional athletes here. They feel like they're stuck, okay? And the only thing to do right there, they get some coaching. They might need some mindset coaching. They might need a therapist. They might need a technical coach. They might need a motivational coach. But they, just like you did, said, I'm feeling this way right now. I need to do something about it. So congratulations on
Yeah.
expressing it. And the second step is understanding you're not alone.
No, you're not alone.
You deal and then the solutions are get some help, get any kind of help that you would like, and take some steps. So, and also realize you're going to feel this way again probably many times in your
Oh,
life, and that's normal. And to get beyond it, you have to keep going, and it's how it is. So I would say, yeah,
yeah.
you're going to be fine. You're gonna find your way. Don't let it overcome you and feel like you're gonna stay stuck. You won't. It can be the best. You know, have you heard of Tony Robbins? Pretty much the whole world is. You've never heard of Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker, business man. Okay, look up Tony Robbins, Dida. Tony's gonna be so offended that Dida hasn't heard of him.
Tony,
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
probably the greatest, considered the greatest personal coach, of the last 30 years. In any case, he gives credit to all of the adversity and all of the negative feelings he has experienced in his life for all the good things he has in his life. So basically saying this, let this also motivate you and realize that this is an opportunity for you. There's a lot of great things. Look into, mindfulness meditation really helps. Look into mindset, how to change your mindset, but also be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
And realize you're just fine. You're like everybody else.
And if we can help you, just send us your links and your videos, or
What
let's help each other.
join the Facebook group,
Yeah.
and we'll all give you likes. We'll all give you some shout outs. That's part of having a nice community,
Yeah.
is this mutual support. But also maybe we don't know what you're dealing with, so we're trying to give you some other
Yeah, we're quite large, but if it's in singing, like we took it a bit dramatically, but if it's you're stuck in your singing technique, then take just a little course with Philip or me or any of the other coaches that were here in improvisation, and you're gonna fly. You're gonna have so much new inspiration, so have fun. Come on.
Yes, have fun, and just know you're not going to feel like this forever.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we're going to finish it up. It's been very inspiring. I hope everybody has enjoyed this as much as I have. And I'd just like to say, because I've been there in my life, I'm not, I don't want to present myself as being, at another level. No, it's just what I've experienced in my life that I think can be beneficial to share is what I want to share. Right. And all I have to share really is my opinion, my feelings, and my passion. I'm not a scientist trying to quantify all of this and claiming that everything I say is right. All I'm trying to do is say, this is what I'm passionate about. This has helped me. This has helped other people. And we really want to help singers and voice teachers primarily. But a lot of the work we do as artists and singers and teachers, it applies to life. It really
Yes.
does apply to every life and other businesses as well.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And in all the things we're doing them because we need to. Again, we need to. I think me and Philip, we need to help people. We need to give all of you the chance not to do the same mistakes as us. I mean, when you're a parent, you think that your role is to save them from not doing the same mistakes. They're gonna do all the same mistakes as you. But with singers and with marketing, I can actually help you, and Philip can actually help you not to do all the mistakes because you're smarter than our kids.
Yeah, so again, if you enjoyed this video, please like and follow our channel, and join
Yeah.
the Facebook group, join Voice Masters, and reach out. Look forward to a lot of more great things to come. You can always reach out to me at singingrevealed@gmail.com. Remember that email address. I'm happy to recommend any kind of programs for teachers, for singers. We have a lot of resources. We're doing a lot of collaborations. And so this network as a resource for singers and voice teachers is really expanding all around the world. And that's the goal. Just like Dida said, I want to basically help you get where you want to go faster, easier, save you money, save you time, save you frustrations. And that has become my motivation in doing all of this. My past motivation was being on stage and performing, and I loved it. And when I'm on stage and I'm performing, it doesn't matter. I feel at home. I feel like this is where I belong. But I also want to, now take whatever I've learned, and hopefully that will be valuable for many people as well, and share that share that with you. So just wanted to wrap that up, and now I'm going to move on. We're going to wrap it up. It's been great. See you next time on Voice Masters live stream and Voice Masters Q&A. Dida Robbert, let's give a nice round of applause for Dida. I'm going to give some love effects here. It was a fantastic.
I love that. Thank you so much.
If you didn't get to see Dida's live stream, please know that all of our live streams are available in the Voice Masters archive. And it's getting so big, it's so valuable. You have so many resources there. Again, for Dida, great job.
Yay! Here it's nighttime, so it's perfect. Thank you, and Philip, thank you for me, and thank you from all the other voice teachers around the world, giving them this opportunity. And I think we're not a lot, but we have the same philosophy, which is let's team up. So give a hand for Philippe Hall for creating this and for Singing Revealed. It's just fantastic. You're giving a chance to people who maybe don't even have the chance to buy a coaching session. You're giving them a chance already to feel it and to get some coaching. So bravo.
Thank you, Dida. Thank you, everybody. Take care.